Hello, my peeps, and welcome to my channel for another Saturday live stream. Today we are in Psalm 6 to 15, and we're going to cover the verse that says, "The fool says in his heart, there is no God." So, um, excuse me. uh, so anyway, but that's down the road. We've got to get there. And before I start reading, I want to say um, that I feel like there could be some context given. I know the Psalms are songs that have been written mostly by David, and I think they're still used to this day in the synagogue, though I'm not sure. So I'm not 100% on that. Um, but still, I mean, you have those little headers that aren't part of the chapter, right? And you would think that those headers would give you some context. Um, but excuse me, the translation I'm using doesn't give that. Um, Maybe it does in the original language, but I don't read, write, or speak Hebrew, so I don't know. Um, or Aramaic. They could, some of them could be written in Aramaic. Some of the um, Tanakh is written in Aramaic, but most of it's written in Hebrew. Okay, so let's go. And let me share the screen. So you don't think I'm making any of this stuff up? Because I, okay, if you think I'm making any of this stuff up, I feel ya. Because before I actually read the Bible, like straight through, I did not believe some of the things that this book says. And I feel ya, okay? But, you know, every single fucking word in this book is being read by me, except for when we're dealing with um, genealogies. Excuse me. And I skipped the genealogies only because I can't pronounce the names. So, you know, rather than stumbling through the names, I just skip the genealogies. I won't do that when I come to the genealogies of Jesus, though. Um, but at any rate, um, all right. So, let's go. Okay. Uh, chapter 6. Lord, and this is in all caps. So when you see Lord in all caps, it's talking about uh, the divine name, YHWH. Nobody really knows how that's pronounced. A lot of people pronounce it Yahweh. So just A little tidbit of information for you in case you didn't know. Lord, do not rebuke me in your anger or discipline me in your wrath. Have mercy on me, Lord, for I am faint. Heal me, Lord, for my bones are in agony. My soul is in deep anguish. How long, Lord? How long? Um, how long what, David? And the header says this is the Psalm of David, so I'm going to take their word on it that this is the Psalm of David. How, what are you asking? How long? Now, in the original language, it may clear it up. This is what I say by context. You know, it would help if we had some context for this. Um, and I get that this is meant to be a song sung in the synagogue. Um, but still, I mean, it'd be nice to know what was happening in David's life that he's in this amount of mental distress, which is what anguish is. Um, all right, verse 4. Turn, Lord, and deliver me. Save me because of your unfailing love. No comment. Among the dead, no one proclaims your name. Who praises you from the grave? I am worn out from my groaning. All night long I fled my bed with weeping and drenched my couch with tears. My eyes grow weak with sorrow. They fail because of all my foes. Well, David, you got some very powerful foes if they can make your eyes grow weak. I know that's poetry, but you know, um, I got to get my digs in where I can. And for the Jews, no, I mean no disrespect to your holy book. This probably isn't even in the original language. Like I said, I don't read, write, or speak Hebrew or Aramaic. Excuse me. All right. Verse 8. Away from me, all you who do evil, for the Lord has heard my weeping. Okay, that was a fast turnaround. The Lord has heard my cry for mercy. The Lord accepts my prayer. All my enemies will be overwhelmed with shame and anguish. They will turn back and suddenly be put to shame. So, is David celebrating the fact that his enemies will be overwhelmed with shame and anguish and they will be put to shame? Doesn't sound very godly, but what do I know? Okay, Psalm 7, a Shiggaion of David. Uh, okay. A Shiggaion probably is a literary or musical term, is what the footnote says. Concerning a Benjamite. Verse 1. Lord my God, I take refuge in you. Save and deliver me from all who pursue me, or they will tear me apart like a lion and rip me to pieces with no one to rescue me. Lord my God, if I have done this, and there is guilt on my hands, if I have repaid my ally with evil, or without cause have robbed my foe, then let my enemy pursue and overtake me. See, this is what I'm talking about by context. It the header tells us that David is pinning this to God um, in rel relation to a Benjamite, but it doesn't tell us anything more than that. You know, what is David supposed to have done? You know, it'd be nice to have some context, but they don't give us any context. Okay, verse 5. Then let my enemy pursue and overtake me. Let him trample my life to the ground and make me sleep in the dust. Arise, Lord, in your anger. Rise up against the rage of my enemies. Awake, my God, to decree justice. Let the assembled peoples gather around you while you sit enthroned over them on high. Yeah, we'll just lick that monster's boots forever. Not me. Not me. No way. Not me. I am not licking that monster's boots. No way. I will have no part in that. Verse 8. Let the Lord judge the peoples. Vindicate me, Lord, according to my righteousness, according to my integrity, O Most High. Okay, so see, this is interesting because in the New Testament, Paul tells us that we are filthy. But the Jewish faith says the righteous are righteous. And I know that's a tautology, but, you know, Paul wants to tell us that all our righteousness are as filthy rags. And the Tanakh is saying, no, all your righteousness is not as filthy rags. Your righteousness is going to be parted to you as righteousness, um, which is a very big difference between Judaism and Christianity. Okay, so let me go back to the beginning of verse 8. Let the Lord judge the peoples, vindicate me, Lord, according to my righteousness, according to my integrity, O Most High. Bring to an end the violence of the wicked and make the righteous secure. You, the righteous God, who probes minds and hearts. No comment. Verse 10. My shield is God Most High, who saves the upright in heart. God is a righteous judge, a God who displays his wrath every day. Okay, so I got a question. If I, as an atheist, am quote unquote righteous, that means I do according as my conscience rather, dictates, and I follow my conscience, but I'm an atheist, which I am, which, by the way, God could fix, but not going into that right now. Is that still imparted to me as righteousness, quote unquote righteousness, because that's really doesn't make any sense to me. Um, but in granting that there may be a God somewhere out there, and that's a big if, but okay, if this God does exist, you know, me being an atheist, is he going to impart me acting according to my conscience as righteousness? Probably not. Probably not. But, you know, um, verse 12. If he does not relent, he will sharpen his sword, he will bend and string his bow. He has prepared his deadly weapons. He makes ready his flaming arrows. Okay. Wow. That went from a happy go lucky scene to downright terrifying very fast, which is what happens in the Bible. Gotta love that whiplash. Verse 14. Whoever is pregnant with evil conceives trouble and gives birth to disillusionment. Whoever digs a hole and scoops it out falls into the pit they have made. The trouble they cause recoils on them. Their violence comes down on their own heads. I will give thanks to the Lord because of his righteousness. I will sing the praises of the name of the Lord Most High. So, in other words, he takes great pleasure in the agony of his enemies. Because what the hell? You know, they're going to suffer anyway. Let them suffer. Chapter 8, verse 1. Lord our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. You have set your glory in the heavens. Through the praise of children and infants, you have established a stronghold against your enemies to silence the foe and the avenger. Yeah, that reminds me a lot of Kent Hovind. You know, even a even a 3 year old can tell you if you don't know what I'm talking about. Um, it's in Logic's Kent Hovind series. Not really sure which one, but anyway, um, yeah, Case by 3 year old. All right, verse 3. When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you have set in place, what is mankind that you are mindful of them, human beings that you care for them? You have made them a little lower than the angels and crowned them with glory and honor. You made them rulers over the works of your hands. You put everything under their feet, all flocks and herds, and the animals of the wild, the birds in the sky, and the fish in the sea, all that swim the paths of the seas. And this, my friends, this is why we've got Christians who don't give a goddamn about the environment. They don't give a goddamn about saving our precious earth to be passed down from generation to generation because they think that they can destroy the earth. That's what they think. I was part of this world for a long time. That is exactly what they think. Verse 9. Lord our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. Psalm 9. I will give thanks to you, Lord, with all my heart. I will tell of all your wonderful deeds. I will be glad and rejoice in you. I will sing the praises of your name, O Most High. My enemies turn back, they stumble and perish before you, for you have upheld my right and my cause. Sitting enthroned as the righteous judge, you have rebuked the nations and destroyed the wicked. You have blotted out their name forever and ever. Endless ruin has overtaken my enemies. You have uprooted their cities, even the memory of them has perished. The Lord reigns forever. He has established his throne for judgment. He rules the world in righteousness and judges the people with equity. The Lord is a refuge for the oppressed, a stronghold in times of trouble. Those who know your name trust in you, for you, Lord, have never forsaken those who seek you. Sing the praises of the Lord, enthroned in Zion. Proclaim among the nations what he has done. For he who avenges blood remembers. He does not ignore the cries of the afflicted. Lord, see how my enemies persecute me. Have mercy and lift me up from the gates of death, that I may declare your praises in the gates of daughters Zion, and there rejoice in your salvation. Okay, Jews, you don't have to listen to this because I'm not talking to you. I'm specifically talking about Christians here. This is sort of one of the places Christians get their persecution complex. Now, it'll be much more evident in the New Testament, but we can already see here in Psalms where Christians get their persecution complex. But the Jews have always been persecuted, and they have a legitimate claim to persecution than the Christians do. But yet, the Christians are going to allocate these verses to themselves and say, we are being persecuted. Moving on. The nations have fallen into the pit they have dug. Their feet are caught in the net they have hidden. The Lord is known by his acts of justice. The wicked are ensnared by the works of their hands. The wicked go down to the realm of the dead. All the nations that forget God, but God will never forget the needy. The hope of the afflicted will never perish. Verse 19. Arise, Lord, do not let mortals triumph. Let the nations be judged in your presence. Strike them with terror, Lord. Let the nations know they are only mortal. Psalm 10. Why, Lord, do you stand far off? Why do you hide yourself in times of trouble? In his arrogance, the wicked man hunts down the weak who are caught in the scheme he devises. He boasts about the cravings of his heart. He blesses the greedy and reviles the Lord. In his pride, the wicked man does not seek him. In all his thoughts, there is no room for God. His ways are always prosperous. Your laws are rejected by him. He sneers at all his enemies. He says to himself, nothing will ever shake me. He swears no one will ever do me harm. His mouth is full of lies and threats. Trouble and evil are under his tongue. He lies in wait near the villages. From ambush he murders the innocent. His eyes watch in secret for his victims. Like a lion in cover he waits. He lies in wait to catch the helpless. He catches the helpless and drags them off in his net. His victims are crushed. They collapse. They fall under strength. He says to himself, God will never notice. He covers his face and never sees. Arise, Lord, lift up your hand, O God. Do not forget the helpless. Why does the wicked man revile God? Why does he say to himself, he won't call me to account? But you, God, see the trouble of the afflicted. You consider their grief and take it in hand. The victims commit themselves to you. You are the helper of the fatherless. Break the arm of the wicked man. Call the evildoer to account for his wickedness, that would not otherwise be found out. The Lord is king forever and ever. The nations will perish from his land. You, Lord, hear the desire of the afflicted. You encourage them and listen to their cry, defending the fatherless and the oppressed, so that mere earthly mortals will never again strike terror. Psalm 11. In the Lord I take refuge. How then can you say to me, flee like a bird to your mountain? For look, the wicked bend their bows. They set their arrows against the strings to shoot from the shadows at the upright in heart. When the foundations are being destroyed, what can the righteous do? The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord is on his heavenly throne. He observes everyone on earth. His eyes examine them. The Lord examines the righteous, but the wicked, those who love violence, he hates with a passion. On the wicked he will rain fiery coals and burning sulfur. A scorching wind will be their lot. For the Lord is righteous, he loves justice. The upright will see his face. Psalm 12. Help, Lord, for no one is faithful anymore. Really, really. I doubt that, David. I doubt that very much. Those who are loyal have vanished from the human race. Mm, can you say drama queen? Verse 2. Everyone lies to their neighbor. They flatter with their lips, but harbor deception in their hearts. I don't. Not that I know of, at least. I try not to. Really want to know if I do. Verse 3. May the Lord silence all flattering lips and every boastful tongue. Those who say, by our tongues we will prevail, our own lips will defend us. Who is Lord over us? Because the poor are plundered and the needy groan. I will now arise, says the Lord. I will protect them from those who malign them, and the words of the Lord are flawless, like silver purified in a crucible, like gold refined 7 times. You, Lord, will keep the needy safe and will protect us forever from the wicked who freely strut about when what is vile is honored by the human race. Psalm 13. How long, Lord, will you forget me forever? I don't think God's forgotten you, David. Don't know when you penned this, but pretty sure he made you king, at least according to Tanakh. How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I wrestle with my thoughts, and day after day have sorrow in my heart? How long will my enemy triumph over me? Verse 3. Look on me and answer, Lord my God. Give light to my eyes, or I will sleep in death. And my enemy will say, I have overcome him, and my foes will rejoice when I fall. Damn, David. You're getting kind of uppity there, commanding God, aren't you? All right, verse 5. But I trust in your unfailing love. My heart rejoices in your salvation. I will sing the Lord's praise, for he has been good to me. Psalm 14. The fool says in his heart, there is no God. Yeah, Christians, don't ever use this verse on an atheist. It might sound like a sick burn to you, but it's exactly what an atheist would expect from a holy book. The Quran probably says the same thing. Just saying. They are corrupt. Their deeds are vile. There is no one who does good. The Lord looks down from heaven on all mankind to see if there are any who understand, any who seek God. All are turned away, all have become corrupt. There is no one who does good, not even one. Do all these evildoers know nothing? Excuse me. They devour my people as though eating bread. They never call on the Lord. Well, if you could be bothered to, let us know that you're up there, like you actually do the existing, maybe we'd seek you. Maybe. Not so sure. I mean, honestly, you sound like a shitty god if you're there. So, not quite sure I would worship you, but there might be somebody who would. But there they are, overwhelmed with dread, for God is present in the company of the righteous. You evildoers frustrate the plans of the poor, but the Lord is their refuge. I don't. I don't at all. Why would I do that? What possible good could it do anybody to frustrate the plans of the poor? What good would it do anybody? That just does not make any sense. Oh, that salvation for Israel would come out of Zion when the Lord restores his people. Let Jacob rejoice and Israel be glad. Psalm 15, verse 1. Lord, who may dwell in your sacred tent? Who may live on your holy mountain? The one whose walk is blameless, who does what is righteous, who speaks the truth from their heart, whose tongue utters no slander, who does no wrong to a neighbor and casts no slurs on others, who despises a vile person but honors those who fear the Lord, who keeps an oath even when it hurts and does not change their mind, who lends money to the poor without interest, who does not accept a bribe against the innocent. Whoever does these things will never be shaken. And that, my dear peeps, is hey, deconverted. Yeah, I know. Um, so there's today's Bible reading. Um, like I said, fool says in his heart, yada 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 yada, blah 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 blah. Yeah, give me some evidence and I'll believe. Might not worship, but I'll definitely believe. Because if you give me evidence, can't very well, you know, say, you know, you didn't give me enough evidence. And when I mean evidence, I don't mean look at the trees. That is not evidence. If you Christians want to know what kind of evidence we are talking about, there are plenty of atheist channels out there, mine included, that will tell you exactly what kind of evidence we look for and what kind of evidence we will accept. And when we say evidence, we mean evidence. We don't mean wishy washy bullshit. Alrighty. So, anyway, thanks for coming. And I'll see you tomorrow for Atheist Church. Might be on later today. I don't know. Um, it just depends on um, my anxiety and how my sinuses are, because my sinuses have been killing me. Pollen's been through the roof here. Um, and so, it just depends. Um, but I bid you a good day. Please like, it helps the algorithm. Also, leave a comment if you would. That also helps the algorithm. Um, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Um, if you are financially able, please join this channel. You can join for as low as 99 cents a month. You get custom emojis and debunks early. I did not have a debunk last week. I am sorry about that. I was down with very bad sinus pain. Um, but I am getting together, um, not a debunk, um, but I will have one of my um, edited videos out, one of my slideshow videos. Um, it'll come out Thursday for everyone, and uh, hopefully Tuesday. I'm almost done with it, so hopefully Tuesday for my members. At the very latest, Wednesday for my members. And remember, I have changed my upload date from Sunday to Tuesday for members and from Tuesday to Thursday for non members. Um, if you are not financially secure, Don't even think about it. And you have a wonderful rest of your day. And if I talk to you later on today, I will. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. Alrighty. Bye.